I just want to give a quick little warning by saying that I talk major spoilers in this video. If you don't want to get spoiled on this movie,
Oh,
I suggest you click off right
this
now.
guy
If you don't
stinks!
care. Why does this exist? Yep, Jack and Jill, directed by Dennis Dugan, stars Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler, playing the two title characters, Jack and Jill. It follows Jack, who's an ad executive, and his sister Jill, who's visiting from out of town for the holidays. And what follows is a movie full of questionable comedy, romance, and... God, I want to kill myself. Man, where to begin with this film? Let's just start off by saying that this film was so bad upon its release that it was panned by critics and is currently standing with a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is worse than Son of the Mask, and if you don't already know, I absolutely can't stand that film. And I think it's also worth mentioning that this film is such an infamous flop that at the Golden Raspberry Awards, it won in every single category. And I gotta say, that's quite the achievement.
Jack and Jill!
So seeing how infamously bad this film was, I wanted to check it out for myself. And all I can say is that not only is it an incredibly boring film for the entirety of its runtime, but it practically feels like an insult to the senses the longer you watch it. I have never seen a film with jokes that are so in your face that it feels like it's force feeding you them every single second it has, and it just gets to the point of being ridiculous. You'll often notice in Adam Sandler films that they have become well known for their stupid comedy. You know, that comedy you know is so dumb that it still manages to make you laugh regardless. And it seems like nowadays we can watch this comedy for hours and hours, and I mean, I know I can. But with Jack and Jill, you would probably be thinking that it's one of those films that's so bad that it's actually really good. But it just feels like a dragged out shitfest from start to finish, and you just wonder... why? So without any further ado, let's just get into this flop of a film and see why it's so bad to begin with, and maybe even see why it may be worse than Son of the Mask. We start off with a little sequence showing us real-life twins while they talk about personal stories about their lives.
When we were kids, we had our own secret language that only me and my brother understood. Ooh.
And she's the older twin.
I'm older by
She's
10 minutes because she had an umbilical cord wrapped around her neck.
Like when things are bad and we don't really got to say anything to each other, we just make these sounds. It's like, ah, ah.
We then get to meet with one half of the twin nightmares, Jack, who's an ad executive shooting a commercial for Pepto-Bismol. And believe it or not, we're not even 5 minutes into this film yet, and there's already a huge problem that I can see. See, when you go into a movie, you expect to be entertained. Maybe learn about one of your main characters. Here though, just look at all of the product placement. I mean, it's bad enough already that they're shooting a commercial for Pepto, but there's not one, not two, but 3 products in this one scene alone.
Dunkachino, Al Pacino, they sound alike?
Yes.
Well, they think it'll be a home run.
Of course it would be a home run.
I got some bad news. We may lose Dunkin' Donuts.
What do you mean, lose count? They didn't like our pitches?
A week after Hanukkah.
Okay, all right. There's some good news.
Yeah.
And look, if you're gonna have product placements in your movie, fine, whatever. But how about make it so it doesn't feel like I'm watching a straight up commercial, especially during the beginning of your movie? I mean, just look at how Sandler takes in this bottle of Pepto and how in your face it is. This could literally be placed in a Pepto commercial and you probably wouldn't tell the difference. Just look.
Why do I have to have such diarrhea?
You need to drink the pink.
Hey, there's Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Now you know, Pepto treats 5 different stomach problems. You see, pink does more than you think.
Oh my god, this movie just started, and I already feel like I've been wasting decades of my life. We join Sandler again as he's waking up early to go to the airport to pick up...
How we doing?
Where were you? I've been waiting forever for you. This place is creeping me out.
Why so many bags? Are the Knicks traveling with you? When is with us?
Mom always said it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Oh, yeah, she did say that.
Are you going bald?
So yeah, that's Adam Sandler as Jill. You know, it's bad enough already to have one immaturely written character in this story, but to have two of them? That's just crossing the line. You know how Son of the Mask has all the creepy-ass imagery for about a third of its runtime? You could probably replace Jill with one of those sequences, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And you know, the longer she's on screen, the more unfunny and disturbing it gets when you watch. Take this scene, for instance, when they're sitting at the dinner table. This is where the family gets together, and for 6 minutes, it's nothing but the group talking, Jill blessing us with her charm,
I love how nice we are to this homeless man, a person we don't even know.
and them trying to force feed these jokes that are painfully unfunny, and they get cringy as hell the longer you sit through it.
Hey, where am I sitting?
What do you mean?
Because usually I sit next to you, so all of a sudden I'm not going to sit here?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's homeless, right? I'm like Jimmy Stewart at the end of that movie, the one with they're in Pottersville. What is that movie called? What? Why are you making a face? When we were kids, you felt it when I broke my ankle. We had our own secret language. Ook magadodo, pagogo.
Oh my god. You know that feeling before a test when you're studying for hours and hours on end, trying to prepare to get the best grade you possibly can, but it ends up making you suffer the biggest headache imaginable? That's basically this scene in a nutshell. The comedy is so bad in this scene that it's unbelievably painful to sit through, that it made me want to turn off this movie.
I love how nice we are to this homeless man, a person we don't even know. You don't look homeless to me, you're fat! You're Al-Qaeda!
And you want to know the best part of it all? There's still an hour, no, not even an hour, there's still over an hour left of this movie, and I had to sit through it just to make this damn review for this stupid channel.
This is really awkward. I'm gonna go.
Aw, you freaking cheater. If you get to leave, then I get to leave. I'll see you all later. Alright. If I have to sit through this movie, then I'll just suffer through it. That's probably what you guys want to see anyways, right?
What? Oh!
Okay. If I get to see more abuse to Jill throughout this movie, I'm completely fine with that. Let's continue.
Here in the woods! At least the animals will be nice! Oh! The kids against me!
Okay. You know what? Let's do this. Let's keep this counter in handy just to see how many times Jill gets abused throughout this movie.
Oh! At least the animals will be nice! Oh!
So eventually we see Jack checking out a video of Al Pacino since he's hoping he will sign on to do a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Wait. Al Pacino? Okay, first of all, it's hard for me to even believe that Pacino, out of all actors, even signed on to do this film, especially as himself. And as hard as it is for me to give positive to Jack and Jill, Al Pacino is honestly the best part of it all. He gives such a dedicated and comedic performance throughout this movie that it just baffles my mind. And there's so many scenes throughout this movie that it's really hard for me to believe that it's him at all. Just take a look.
Don't be startled, it's only me. You know, you're not really giving me any confidence here.
About what?
Where is she?
Get is a strong word, because this is my sister we're talking about.
You don't understand!
Al Pacino is the only reason that I stuck around for this film as long as I did. If he wasn't in this film at all, I'd probably end up drinking a gallon of bleach after I watched this film. But it's okay though, because his intro is quickly ruined by some more hilariously written jokes that they just had to get out.
Oh, did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I had the whole family come over. Even my Aunt Rosa snuck across the border. Again.
My god. The genius of that joke. That was like the godfather of all jokes. It's unlike anything I've ever heard of before. Are you laughing yet? Are you? No? Well, get used to it, because there's more of that throughout this movie.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Oh, trust me, I sure as hell wish that I was. So after that is when we find out that Jill is going to be staying longer than anticipated, and we end up getting to see how she's spending the time with the family.
$9 the winner!
Good luck to you. I never saw that before.
Hey, let's go! Oh my God! Oh, no! Look at it!
What the hell?
You're a weirdo!
No shit! I'm surprised I don't need therapy after this freaking movie. Oh my god.
Like someone was barbecuing them over a slope. I think you're on.
I must be.
What?
Glasses are beginning to steam up.
Oh my god.
It wasn't an emergency. I wanted to see how my plants were doing. Okay, and you turn the heat off?
Make it stop, please.
No. Yeah, I can't hear. I'm trying to I'm on the phone.
Well, get off the phone, you psycho!
God, I don't want to keep on talking about this film. It's okay though, because you're probably enjoying me suffer. The things I do. God. So eventually, Jack and Jill are at a Lakers game, and...
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh no, not Kobe. Why did Kobe have to be in this film? And they eventually notice that Al Pacino is at the game too, which pushes Jack to ask him about the commercial he's shooting. And this is where Pacino's odd inclusion in this movie turns into straight up insanity. I'm sorry. Is this the same Al Pacino that we've seen in The Godfather and Scarface?
Whoa! Funny meeting you here. Don't be startled, it's only me.
I honestly can't tell you how mind-blowing it is to see Al Pacino give such a dedicated performance in this movie. It's one of the funniest things in this movie, and I don't think he's even trying to be funny. You know, in a movie where all the jokes never even work to begin with, I really wish the movie was just about Al Pacino going out with a lady Adam Sandler. It probably would have ended up a lot better than this 90-minute shit show.
I found the one woman with all her rough hue and charm who will lead me back to sanity.
God, I hope he was paid well for this. So we head back home to find Jill meeting with Felipe. Oh, jeez. And he ends up inviting her to a party.
We play soccer, eat, steal white people's wallets.
What did you say?
I'm kidding.
You know, it wasn't funny the first time you did it. What makes you think it'll be funny now?
And I know she's up there, sneaking into heaven right now. It's a joke.
Ha. You know, I've never seen a movie try so hard to hammer in these jokes as much as Jack and Jill. It's practically insulting to see how hard it's trying, and the fact that I had to sit here and waste 90 minutes of my time losing brain cells by the second.
My grandma
Oh my goodness!
Oh, please no.
Never had Mexican food.
Come on, you! Come on!
What? It's bad enough that Jill already has overactive sweat glands. Do I really need to see this? Mexicans! Oh my freaking god. So after that, we get to see Al Pacino visiting the house again, and... I'm sorry, who's that again? And we learn that Pacino will only do the commercial if Jack brings him Jill.
You know, you're not really giving me any confidence here.
About what?
Where is she?
Al, I don't know where...
Where you hiding her? We breathe the same Bronx air.
Yes.
Right, when I look at her, I see me. Jill
Yes.
is gonna get me there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just want a shot.
Okay, you know what? I am convinced that the studio took Al Pacino hostage during pre-production, and they didn't end up letting him go until he said yes to this film. I mean, really think about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying Pacino in this movie as much as the next person, but it honestly scares me to see how dedicated he is. Man, why couldn't they just make a movie about him? That would have been so much better. But it's okay, because then the movie graces us with this next scene.
Nothing left to say. I spent the day at Felipe's picnic where I finally felt welcomed by everybody. I tried this new food for the very first time.
Get comfortable, folks. This goes on for a while.
Mexican, Mr. Food Detective. And Felipe treated me like a...
Okay. It's bad enough that they hold uncomfortably long on this joke, but I'm pretty sure that the words second draft were outlawed during production, and I can't believe that they would be proud enough to include this in their movie.
Yes, Mexican.
Did the writers really sit down and agree that this was good? Why do we need to listen to this for almost a minute when we could be focusing on something else?
By everybody. I tried this new food for the very first time.
Sandler, why? Oh my god. So after finding out that Jill was tired of Jack using her just to get near Pacino, he ends up playing as Jill in order to keep him happy so that he will do the commercial. Alright. Then Jack and Pacino get together, and the film decides, hey, why not? Let's make the audience feel more uncomfortable. Al, this is Al Pacino?
All right! Drop it!
Well, we get to understand eventually why Al Pacino has fallen in love with Jill.
Well, I see an angel with a broken wing. I see a girl who wants recognition, but just never gets it.
Oh, can it, Pacino? You know, you've already been trying so hard throughout this film. Don't try to make it emotional now. So realizing that Jack has been leaving Jill in the shadows for so long, he eventually reunites with her to say that he's sorry. And you know, they're really trying to hammer in this emotional scene, but I can't stop thinking about David Spade in drag.
God, you're hot.
You know, I don't like...
Oh yeah, and Felipe? I guess him and Jill are suddenly a thing now, after only having that one little scene with them in the car, which had to be taken over by the near-minute farting joke.
And boom, there you have it. It's actually 32 seconds, so I gotta lose 2 seconds. Maybe you can tell me what part you would lose.
Burn this. This must never be seen by anyone.
I'm sorry?
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. I knew the real Al Pacino was in there somewhere. And finally, after 90 minutes of hell, the credits finally roll. This film was pure and utter shit. It's honestly no wonder why this movie was the winner of every Razzie Award. Not only is Jack and Jill a painfully bad movie, but it's downright insulting. Out of the whole 90-minute runtime, not a single joke was the least bit funny, and they try to hammer in every joke as much as they can, as if the movie is trying to tell you that the joke is funny. Every scene that had a joke was dragged out to the point of being completely dull as soon as it began. I can't believe there's a positive about this movie, but the only positive about it is Al Pacino and his performance. It's unbelievable how much effort he puts into his performance, and even when the man is not even trying to be funny, it's nothing but hilarious. But I'm still convinced that he was taken hostage to even be in this movie. You know, and comparing it to Son of the Mask, which is my #1 most hated movie of all time, I'm beginning to wonder if Jack and Jill can take that spot right now. You want to torture yourself with this film? By all means, go ahead and have at it. But just know that you probably won't be the same ever again. Jack and Jill, sorry, not sorry, but I'm giving you 1 out of 10 piles of shit. Or should I get 10 out of 10 piles of shit? I don't know. But either way, this movie blows. So, I'm not even gonna ask. Do you guys hate Jack and Jill? I'd like to know in the comments below. And if you somehow made it this far in the video without killing yourself, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for some more future movie content. Oh my god, Jack and Jill. Why does this movie even... Forget it. Bye.